We are
Two girls.
on a fast track. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Lynn. How are you today?
Very well. It's a beautiful sunny day again.
Yes,
We're
I'm wearing no sleeves because it's still
well,
hot on October
I've got
3rd.
sleeves, but it's a little bit lighter, so it's nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Awesome. And just to continue on our last topic from last week, we were showing our viewers how to present themselves short-term period like an elevator pitch, 30 seconds or 60 seconds presentation when you go to a networking event. But we also talk about when you are part of a group or organization, they give you an opportunity to do a feature presentation practically everywhere. So it could be 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on the size of the group or whatever their rules are. But it's important to be ready. This is kind of the most important presentation you will probably have to do, because you get those 10 minutes to let them know about yourself a little bit, and most importantly what you're doing and what you're looking for, because what you're looking for could be really different in the different type of businesses. In my cleaning business, I only do residential, so if I don't tell people that I'm not going to take commercial contracts, they might send referrals my way, and I'm going to have to turn them down. So that's really important to let them know what you want and what you don't want as well.
So very important. And before we get to the nuts and bolts of presenting yourself, we just want to encourage you to subscribe.
Yes.
So that you get a notification that our videos are being dropped in YouTube, and they're being uploaded to YouTube, and you get an opportunity to watch every single week, because pretty much we're here every single week, aren't we?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
We took a couple of weeks off during the summer because it's summer and we both have vacations and stuff like that. But yeah, we're at episode 38 and we started last December.
Oh
So
my goodness, we're almost celebrating a year.
almost 1 year. I think it would be awesome so I can figure out how to do a live, and we could do a live for
Yeah.
our 1 year anniversary. That would be awesome to
Oh,
have
that would be so good.
some
A
guests.
year. Oh my gosh, that's almost a year. Yeah, we've got a few more
It's
episodes
crazy.
to go for
So,
sure.
so Lynn, you're the
Yeah,
specialist. Go ahead and I'll ask questions if I have some along the
sure.
way.
Yeah, sounds good. So when you have the opportunity to do a feature presentation, good for you. Take full opportunity. And yeah, you're going to feel nervous. You're going to feel anxious about it. But who cares? You manage that nervousness. You manage those butterflies. Give one of us a call. We can walk you through it. That's
We
not a problem
will.
at all. And so you get that opportunity because someone thought that you might be an expert in the field that you're going to be talking about. And guess what? You are. You are the expert in your field. Nobody knows your business better than you, and nobody knows what you do better than you. So own that. That's probably number one. Own the fact that you are the expert in your field. And when you have that confidence, you just kind of sit up a little straighter, or you stand up a little straighter, your shoulders are a little more relaxed, and you feel a lot prouder. So one of the very first things is be in control every second that you are in front of somebody. And by being in control, what that just simply means is you're aware and you're present to what is happening, what is going on.
Yeah.
And to do that, you might need to have a few breathing exercises before you go on the stage, or before you go you start presenting. And that can even be on Zoom too, like if you're presenting to a live crowd or you're just taping. These same rules apply. So you want to I'm calm. I've got this, and I know what I'm doing. When I talk to people about the structure of their presentation, I will always tell you to make sure you know your intro and your conclusion solid.
Yeah.
Make sure your intro and conclusion are both very packed with, like, you really want them to be memorable. Because what do you remember when you hear somebody speak? what they first say or what they last say.
Totally.
So those are, and probably most what they last say, right?
Yeah, it has a big impact. Yeah.
Yeah, it has a big impact. But I'm also going to say that when I see a speaker coming on stage and they're apologizing and, oh, this went wrong and I get, oh, thank you. And, oh, and the technology is, and that doesn't set me up as an audience.
No,
For
totally.
success,
People are gonna
right?
disconnect on what your
Completely,
purpose is to do your business.
completely. They're going to disconnect for sure. So the audience is always going to remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
That's why the intro and the conclusion is so important. Okay. So really knowing that's solid. Okay. In the middle of your presentation, take 2 to 3 key points about. So if I'm talking about wellness and I want to talk about looking better, feeling better, living better. Okay.
3 points.
If I'm right, 3 points. So I'm going to start my introduction with, how would you like to look better, feel better, and live better today, right now, before you leave this room? Oh, there's my intro.
Yeah.
Here is how you can look better starting right now. Okay. And I might give a couple of points, and those are the points, those 3 points, those are the points where you really establish yourself as the expert. Okay. And when I talk about looking better, I'm talking about maybe nutritional supplements. I'm talking about exercise. I'm talking about, and I haven't memorized those because I know them. They're my field. And I can talk about them. What happens is if you lose track of time, so you definitely want somebody in the audience keeping track of your time if you don't have a good sense of time, because there's nothing worse than a speaker that goes over time.
You totally, or you don't have you go in another direction of what you were supposed to say,
exactly.
and you run out of time. That's
right.
The worst.
So this is why my ABC approach is so important. You memorize your intro, you memorize your conclusion. That's all you need to memorize. Intro, conclusion. ABC, look better, feel better, live better, right? Those are the areas that you can have a little bit of room with. So if I spend too much time on looking better, because I get caught up in nutritional supplements and talking about that, maybe I don't have enough time to talk about feeling better, and I don't have enough time to talk about looking better, right? But that's okay, because I'm purposely transition each of my, right? So if I say, oh, wow, look at the time. I've talked about looking better, and we still have feeling better and living better. And I have a few minutes that I want to, talk to you about feeling better. These are some ways that you can feel better. And maybe I might talk about meditation, or I might talk about the value of movement, or, stuff like that, or setting yourself up for success by having a morning routine, or a morning, some really great habits in the morning. And then I don't have as much time to talk about the living better, right? But that's totally fine, because I've already embedded them in my A and B. Or I can say something like, I got so excited about talking about looking better and feeling better that now living better is something that will come when you look and feel.
A combination of both.
You see how I kind of transition, right? And then I don't have to, hurry up and talk really fast, because I don't have enough time to get all my information out. And when I talk really fast, people don't understand what I'm saying, and I did it right. And that's the thing you want to avoid. I see it time and again where, the speaker might have their notes, and they're like, oh, I got to get through all these notes. And oh my goodness, the time, I'm running short of time, and I want to respect the time of the people in the room. So they rush through the point they want to make, and nobody gets it because they're talking way too fast.
Exactly. And not only your body language will change, you're going to look more nervous. You're going to look like you're
oh my gosh.
Or
And I want to address at least one thing, and I've heard this. I've heard this even I don't hear it with seasoned speakers, but I hear it with newbies who talk about, well, I'm just going to wing it. Just going to wing it.
Oh, that's the worst.
I got to say, more often than not, when you know somebody wings it, and I'll tell you, it makes me feel disrespected as an audience member. I'm coming to see you speak and you're winging it, not impressed.
Not at all.
So even if you are winging it, don't tell anybody.
No.
Because that like don't like because that just brings your credibility with me as an audience member way down.
Well,
Like
most people will feel that way, and I think because, like you said, it's a disrespect, especially if you, let's say, you are going to an event, you paid for an event, and you wanted to hear that particular conference or speaker, whatever. You're gonna say, "Well, I paid for that," and he doesn't or she doesn't even look like she or he cares. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
So whatever you do, take the time and be respectful of your audience by preparing. And I'm going to say that some people say that they wing it when in fact they're not, because they've done the preparation. They may not have written everything down, but you know what? They're the type of people that, they can have it in their head and they can work through it. Like I'm at a point now where if somebody asked me to speak, for 20 minutes, I wouldn't need a whole lot of preparation because I've done it so many times.
Exactly.
Well, a lot of people aren't in that boat and they do need that time to preparation. I put in the hours of preparation, believe me, right? So I'm very, very comfortable speaking. Anyway, what I want to say is you're not winging it. You actually have a process that you follow, for when you are actually in front of an audience. So that's really important to know.
Yeah, and if I may add, because it happened personally to me, I have a little plan B in case something goes wrong with the technology.
Always.
Oh, dear God.
Can I just tell you, like in a yoga class, for instance, if there's no music, right, it's me. You are relying on me to make sure that people stay up and the music is a bonus, but when our technology fails, guess what? Plan B, right? And plan B is, I'm going to do a little bit more to make sure that
totally.
It's appropriate. And if you have a PowerPoint and you don't have have a plan B, have the printed version of your PowerPoint.
All the time.
Right. So that, and have your notes so that what,
and not only if the technology failed. I was in an event last year, and I remember, I don't have a big memory, but I remember one thing that Sabrina said when she was showing us what not to do when you do a presentation. And she started her presentation. She was not looking at the crowd, but she was looking at the screen. And she was kind of reading what was there. And then you could feel the uncomfortable in the room because she was not even looking at us. And then after, let's say, a minute and a half, she turned around and she said, "How did that make you feel?"
Right.
I have to have eye contact with people.
I can read the screen. I can read the screen. The screen is supposed to complement what you're saying. You're the expert, not the screen.
Exactly.
Right? And don't put so many words on the screen that, people are kind of, what, like they're,
if it's a big room, people in the back. Yeah.
No, you know what? The screen, like put minimal on your PowerPoint. You are the one speaking to this. So if you have a problem putting those words together, you're going to need to practice. There's no shortcut here. Nope. You need to practice. If I told you the hours and hours and hours that I spent practicing, it would be, you'd be like, you think I'm crazy, but that's the practice that you have to do to be comfortable enough. So make sure that, you've got all of that done ahead of time, and, and realize that you're there with the audience to give them an experience, regardless of why you've been hired or why you're going up there in the first place. Make eye contact with them.
Yes.
Be comfortable. Purposeful movement. I mean, all of these skills are higher level skills that Toastmasters.
Yes, they do. They do.
Teach. I mean, they're a really great organization to help you with those, those skills. And, just, watching some really good performers do their thing and take want to take the lessons from them. They're purposefully moving around the stage. They're not like, darting back and forth unless it's purposeful to what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
if they want to show like Sabrina did, or she was
Yeah,
turning her back on us and reading the screen, it was on purpose. So totally,
exactly.
it was an amazing presentation.
Exactly. So just to sum up, when you're preparing your presentation, I love that ABC approach.
Yes.
You memorize your intro, you memorize your conclusion, and you memorize it with like intonation and emotion so that people will remember it. And then the ABC are those 2 to 3 points that you want to make so that if you asked an audience member at the end of your presentation, what did you remember most about what I presented? If they come up with any one of those 3 things, you've hit the mark.
You did actually, totally. And another thing I can say is what I did when I was doing my first BNI feature presentation for my business when I became self-employed. A couple of weeks before, I asked Ben to do me some nice sheet with some questions. What would you like me to talk the most about? Would you like to learn more about the supplements, the health and wellness products, or whatever? What would you like me to focus on the most? And I was surprised at the result. I mean, it was pretty cool, that little survey I did before my, I think I did a month before my presentation.
And then you adapt your presentation to what your audience wants. What an idea, right?
Exactly.
Imagine giving the audience what they're asking for.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
It was amazing. And that was the day that my video was working, but there was no sound. We didn't know what happened. And you don't have time to fix the problem. Your time is starting when you get up and you're in front of the crowd. I mean, we didn't have time to fix it. So I had to do it by myself. Luckily for me, I'm at ease when I'm on a stage and I'm speaking with people, but otherwise I would probably, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Exactly. So you definitely want to know your audience. And I love that. I love that you put that survey out there to people, or that questionnaire out there, which kind of comes to my closing quote.
Yes.
And my closing quote is this: designing a presentation without an audience in mind is like writing a love letter and addressing it to whom it may concern.
I love this.
And that's Ken Hamer wrote this, right? So let me say it again. Designing a presentation without an audience in mind is like writing a love letter and addressing it to whom it may concern.
This is so funny. I think I'm going to remember that one for sure. That if you ask me what I remember from your presentation today.
What I want to know in the comments is, what do you remember most from our talk today?
Awesome. I really, guys, you really have to comment, because we are so curious to see if you really listen and if you think that Lynn did a good job in her presentation. That would be amazing. So we'll let you go on that. We didn't decide our next topic, but it's going to be a surprise. We have a few topics in advance. So it's going to be a surprise. Lynn, thank you so much for today. And I wish you a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
We are 2 girls on a fast ride.